Hey, Wayne from Fully Human here. Welcome back to the channel. So there's this channel called Laxmidairygirl, and she used to do these vegan reviews, and I was a subscriber of her channel. I thought they were quite interesting. She had valid points. But in more recent days, she's been putting a lot of crap on the carnivore channels. And in particular, Frank Tufano's the most recent one, but there's a couple of very recent videos she's done, and she has no idea in regards to nutrition. She's very emotionally driven. Her history goes back, she was 8 years vegan, so obviously she's in that sort of mindset where she's emotionally choosing what food she eats. And her current diet is a lacto-vegetarian, so she's eating primarily dairy foods. So she's basically still a vegan in the way that she chooses her foods based on her emotions, suckling the teats of a cow instead. So let's have a look at a couple of the recent videos she's made on these carnivore channels.
I just got my first box from True Local, so I'm going to open that up, show you guys what's inside, and give you my first thoughts.
Alright, this stuff in this box does not even look like food to me. Like, I would never eat that. That does not even, I don't identify that as food. When I see stuff like this, I just see it as animal parts, like dead animal parts.
So I sort of agree in terms of packaging. Like, I'm not a fan of stuff that's packaged up and sent in a box in the mail. I'd rather go to my local supplier and buy stuff. But she's just totally emotionally against meat. That's all of her reasoning.
I don't see that as food. I just want to give you this perspective from someone who's never eaten meat in their life. So I've been lacto-vegetarian since birth, and I was 8 years vegan, but now I am back to lacto-vegetarian where I use milk and dairy products, but I don't eat meat, and this is so I want you to see what it's like when a person doesn't eat meat. The sight and smell of meat is repulsive to me. It's repulsive.
Obviously, she's making her decisions based on her never having eaten meat and her emotions against killing animals, I guess.
When I'm going through the grocery store and I'm walking down through the area where it's the meat section,
her diet's nothing to do with nutrition.
I have to, like, run fast to get out of there quickly because I can't stand the sight or smell of it. And if someone is cooking meat, oh, I cannot stand it, especially if I'm in a house, like where it's indoors. Oh God, I have to leave. I have to go outside. It's so bad to me.
She must be a real pleasure to have around for a dinner sometime. She said she has to run away from a grocery store or a store that has meat. Run away.
Smell. All right, let's continue. Do it.
So I am going to be having this New York strip steak. This is one of the ones from True Local.
Steak. See this right here? That to me is repulsive. It looks so disgusting, so gross to me. You couldn't even pay me to eat that. You couldn't even pay me to eat. You couldn't pay me like millions of dollars for me to eat that. Not even one bite.
See, Laxmidairygirl is nothing about nutrition. It's a religion, and she's making it very clear. She has no reason for eating this other than it's repulsive. So if anyone's following her advice for nutrition, then that's a really bad idea. If you want to just follow her for religious reasons, that's fine.
I wouldn't. And to be very honest, like, let's just say, for example, if milk like dropped off the planet, if there was no more milk and dairy products, I would actually rather just be vegan than eat meat, than eat that. I couldn't.
Alright, that sums it up. She would rather go vegan than to go back. If there was no milk available, she would go back to being vegan. And she makes these videos bad-mouthing vegans, how nutrient deficient their diets are, which is fine. And so she's well aware of the problems with the vegan diet, but she would rather go back to that than eating meat if dairy ran out. So yeah,
I wouldn't eat that. I would rather eat plant foods. So even if I couldn't have dairy, I would just resort to eating plant foods and using supplements. I would never eat meat. No one could pay me to do it. Eggs as well. I don't see eggs as food. Eggs I just see as those are chicken's eggs that are going to grow a new baby chicken, and I don't see that as food.
She doesn't see anything as food except for dairy. Are you a baby cow? I'm not against dairy. I think it's a nutritious addition to a diet, especially for growing children. Dairy is really important, but that is all that she eats, it seems. She just promotes eating dairy, and everything else is not food to her. So is she a baby cow? Seems that way.
I have no desire to eat something like that at all. And what is very interesting is that toddlers, they naturally don't want to eat meat. They don't. And when I hear carnivores say that, oh, naturally kids love meat, naturally kids want to eat meat, that's such a lie, and it's usually said by those who do not have children, so they don't know.
I have children. Okay? And trust me, they prefer meat. They like a variety of food. They will go for the meat, okay? And I have children.
Because I've been around so many children, I have my own kids, and I've been around billions of parks with mothers and families and kids, and it's always the same situation that the moms are always talking about how they have to hide the meat to get them to eat it.
What the fuck is she talking about? She's been around billions of parks. Have you been around billions of parks? Wow, you are an expert. You've been around every park in the world and the universe. And she's talking about how children, they have to hide the meat for children. That is bullshit. Laxmidairygirl is a plain liar. She's a straight up liar, because that is not true. It makes me wonder if she has children herself. She said she does, but I doubt it. I think what's happened here is that she doesn't offer them meat. I mean, she's grown up never eating meat herself. So do you think she's going to offer meat to her children? No. So honestly, she has no idea what children prefer, because she is denying them the option to choose from meat or other things.
For them to start eating meat, they have to hide it and put it inside sandwiches and doctor it up with so many different flavors to mask the flavor of the meat.
It's just bullshit. What she's saying is bullshit.
It's the only way they will get their kids to eat it. Kids naturally are repulsed by meat.
Bullshit. This is just straight up lies. Kids are not repulsed by meat. Get into the real world, Laxmi. Have a look in the real world. Kids are not repulsed. They love meat. Wake up.
The smell and the taste and the look of it.
You are the one that is repulsed by it, and you are giving that dogma to your children.
They love dairy naturally. Naturally, because a baby is drinking milk when it comes out of the mother. When the baby's first born, the baby's drinking milk. So it's not that big of a far-fetched to go from mother's milk to then cow's milk and yogurt and cheese. They love dairy naturally, but they do not like meat. I've seen it over and over again where a little toddler will taste the meat and be like, oh, yuck, and don't want it and reject.
Which toddler are you talking about? Your own? Have you offered your toddlers meat? No. Where are these children you're talking about? She's just straight up lying. She's making up this to fit her own beliefs.
Reject it, and the mom has to keep on trying, putting all kinds of flavors on it and masking it and disguising it.
I can't watch
so
this.
That it's hidden. In fact, it's only been the past 5,000 years that people have been eating meat. Prior to that, they were all lacto-vegetarians, and no cows were ever killed. It's such an important animal, they would never kill the cow.
That is absolute bullshit and nonsense. There is bone records, there is fossil records, there's all of these records that they have all this evidence that humans for well over 1 million years have not only been consuming meat, but we've even been cooking for well over 1 million years. And there is evidence of this. Your talk, humans have been consuming dairy for maybe like 7,000 years. It's a fairly new thing. And again, I'm not against dairy, but don't you go and say that humans have not been eating meat until 5,000 years ago, we've been farming for about 10,000 years. And you to say that 5,000 years we've been eating meat, it's absolute bullshit. Again, these are straight up lies that this lady is making. It's just bullshit. She's just saying these lies to match with her religious diet beliefs.
Devolution. We are de-evolving. We were more advanced before, and now we're de-evolving. So now, basically...
Eating meat makes you a dumb, de-evolved human, right?
Yes, we were never designed to eat meat. That's why it doesn't come natural for toddlers and young children. The gratitude. Where's the gratitude for the mother cow who's providing all this nice dairy, and then when she can no longer give any more milk, you just kill her? That's the gratitude that she gets? How is that nice? How is that kind and compassionate?
Is this a religion? Listen to her. She's talking about a religion here. She worships cows. And sure, I'm not against I'm not for animal suffering, I should say. I'm not for that at all. But there's nothing, it's totally natural for us to consume animals. And yes, we can consume the products from those animals like dairy too. Many people, including myself, really appreciate the food we do have. We really appreciate it. And, you know, we don't want animal suffering. Believe it or not all carnivores are evil, violent people. Do you think I come across as a violent meat eater? I'm a father and I've raised beautiful children. I'm kind and caring, and yeah, I eat meat. There's nothing wrong with that. And sure, I appreciate the animal that gave that food for my nutrition and for my family's nutrition. But I'm not going to base my diet around a religion such as what this laxmidairygirl is doing.
So it's like the exploitation. I don't even like that word exploit because the
She's
vegans
just
use that
a
lot,
vegan
but basically
who drinks milk.
The cow should be used for milk, not meat.
It's the same mindset.
She's more valuable.
So I'm going to switch now to her talking about Frank Tufano's recent video.
It's exactly what he's going to say. It's so scripted sounding.
Initially, when switching over to a diet high in animal...
This Frank Tufano's video here, he's talking about gaining weight on the carnivore or keto diet.
Animal-based protein, your body will actually put on muscle. This is
the whole problem with the carnivore diet, is that it's excessive protein. It's very too high in protein.
Whoa. No, the carnivore diet is not about high protein. The carnivore diet is about eating our natural foods that are nutrient dense. At least that's my take on it. I don't really care about protein at all. I care about nutrient density and getting high quality animal fats, covering a wide variety of nutrient sources such as seafoods and land animals. That is my focus, nutrient density, not protein.
And for some reason, the carnivores, they're obsessed with protein, absolutely obsessed with it. And they think you need to have...
We are not obsessed with protein. Where do you get this shit from? You're just making shit up again.
Such high protein. And that is just not true, and it's not healthy, which I'll be talking about.
Do a search on YouTube about carnivore protein is so important. No carnivores are jumping up and down saying you have to get lots of protein. You know what? Carnivores are probably the people that care the least about protein because we know there's sufficient protein in there. I don't think about it at all, and look at the carnivore channels. None of them really give a damn about how much protein they're getting because it comes as part of a natural, balanced, animal-based diet. Again, she's just making up this bullshit to suit her own religious way of thinking about worshipping cows.
Of lean body mass just by following a carnivore diet for a matter of months.
I just want to say, laxmidairygirl, she's not much of an authority on this topic because if you look at her, she's not exactly a fitness model. She's definitely not overweight, but she's what I would consider a skinny fat. She doesn't really have much muscle tone on her, so she is not much of an authority in terms of fitness or muscle for that matter.
This doesn't occur in a ketogenic diet sometimes because a keto diet is not necessarily high in animal protein, and the quality of foods that people tend to consume.
The keto diet is not high in animal protein. It's moderate protein, and that's what's good about it. It's more healthy than this carnivore diet.
we're not eating lean steaks and chicken breasts, right? If you're eating lean steaks and chicken breasts on a carnivore diet, you're an idiot. You're doing it wrong, okay?
Sportsmen having cows for using for milk for millions of years. That is the true history.
Millions of years, that's the true history. All right, show me one scrap of evidence that we were milking cows millions of years ago.
Every day in their environment from
More
a very young
lies.
age. So they were able to build up a very strong physical base of bones, ligaments, tendons, muscles that we don't have.
So now I'm going to talk about why this meat-based diet that's very high in protein is really unhealthy. So for one thing is that red meat is heavy and hot, and it can make a person domineering. Oh, would you look at that? Look at all the YouTuber carnivores who act pretty domineering. So this is very much a fact.
A fact. Like me, laxmidairygirl, I've been eating meat for 41 years. I have kids. Am I domineering to you? You are associating people that eat red meat with violence. Is that what you're implying?
On the surface, and you see muscles, and oh, I'm gaining so much muscle. Look at me, I must be so healthy. And you see maybe some of these carnivores that look like big bodybuilders, and they look muscular, and you think, oh, they must be so healthy. Maybe not so.
So she's just dismissing healthy-looking people. She's trying to say, oh, if they look healthy and they're eating carnivore, there must be something wrong. It must be a lie, right? Just her, again, coming back to her religion and just saying it doesn't match her beliefs, so it must be a lie.
And who knows how long they will live for. So
I've been doing it for 41 years so far.
Longevity is a factor in health, and what sometimes seems to appear to look healthy sometimes truly isn't.
Then that's why you do blood tests. There's a thing called blood tests, and you can check your markers for inflammation, triglycerides, check all of these important markers, and they will tell you, for her to just dismiss people that look good and say that it doesn't mean anything is just bullshit. Again, it's not matching her belief system.
So anyways, you don't need to have a high protein diet to build muscle. You do what he said, resistance training. That's it. You just do your training, and you eat moderate protein, just enough for what your body requires, and that's all. No more, no excess, I should say.
That's what they do. That's what these people are doing. I weight train and I have moderate protein, and yes, it's enough. You don't need these high protein, low fat diets. That's ridiculous. Nobody here and no carnivores are claiming you need a high protein, low fat diet. She's just making this shit up, and that's all she does. She just makes shit up, makes up lies to suit her religious cow diet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the bell. And again, thanks for watching.